Hi there. Steve here. You know, in a few hours, I'm getting on a plane and I'm flying to London, where my son lives with his wife and two children. And we're going to spend a few days there, and then we're flying on to Israel. I should point out that I'm going to be participating in an online seminar on language learning, which is going to take place over 3 days. I'm leaving a link in the description box on the 20th of October. Hopefully I have, and I'm sure I do have, proper Wi-Fi in my room there. I'm going to be delivering my presentation on language learning, which is only one of many by a number of the leading polyglots on the internet, sharing their perspectives, their experience on language learning. So if you are available at that time slot, and I'm sure it's available at other times as well, check out the link in the description box. All right, today, you know what? I think I can get myself a little closer here. Today, I want to talk about what I think are two absolutely essential ingredients for success in language learning. I always come up with something along these lines, but it usually reflects something that I've been thinking about. The two are your curiosity and Link, L-I-N-G-Q, the website that I'm a co-founder of and which I'm on all the time, and where I have learned 9 languages in 10 years, and I'm learning Greek right now. And I was thinking about this as I'm saying, you know, I'm about to get on the plane, so I'm you know, fully loaded with Greek lessons on Link, with all kinds of stuff that I can do. I bought myself another Greek grammar online, an ebook which I found, and which is now loaded into my. And I went, by the way, I went to you know, or at least Amazon is one big bookstore, but Chapters Indigo in Canada is our biggest bookstore, and they have an online you know, sales thing where you can also buy ebooks, and they had a really good selection of books on a variety of languages, including some Collins grammar for French, which I bought, which looks really good, really, you know, just the essence of what you need. So anyway, I'm fully loaded, and I'm saying to myself, you know, I have everything I need, like more than was available in the old days in a language lab at school. I mean, I have it on my iPad, which I'm using right now to film this. I have the same stuff on my little iPod Nano here. I can subscribe to audiobook services with this. I can download texts, ebooks, and import them into here, which is what I'm doing for Greek, for example, where I'm listening to this fabulous podcast about the Acropolis, which I'm having transcribed and which I'm using for my Greek learning on Link. And I'm on, you know, episode 6 now, and I'm reading it so much more easily than I did before. So, Link. But it starts with curiosity. So as another example, I was planning to go to Israel and then to Crete, and I've been spending all this time listening and reading about the Acropolis and how it was built and how they worshipped and you know, the design and things of that nature. And I'm saying to myself, I'm doing all of this and I'm not going to Athens, so I changed my plans. And we're gonna, you know, leave Crete a day early, arrive in Israel a day late, and we're going to have 3 days in Athens so I can look at the Acropolis. But it's just this, you know, it's curiosity. I'm curious about Greek. I start learning Greek, then I discover that there's all this useful and interesting information about the Acropolis, so now I want to go there. So curiosity is the great driver. And so, as I said the other day, what you start with, whether you start with, and I'll show you, I have it right here, if you start with Benny's book, that's great. If you start with a more conventional starter book, that's great. You know, many different ways to get sucked into learning a language. But for the long haul towards fluency, I think, I have to say it, I think Link is just amazing. Because for example, I just had a brief workout. I was listening to my mini stories in Ukrainian. So I have all the languages, Romanian, whatever, Russian that I studied before, and they're all on my iPod Nano and in my iPad and my iPhone, and plus the Greek that I'm working at right now. So, you know, curiosity is so important. If you have the position that I know everything better than anybody else, I'm not curious. You know, it's like, I think it was Aristotle who said, or was it Socrates, I don't know, I know that I know nothing. You know, if you feel that there's still so much to learn, then you're curious and then you want to learn. You want to learn the language, you want to learn about the country, and all of this generates this tremendous motivation. And I think if you're genuinely curious, then you start to really enjoy this process of discovery. One thing, by the way, on the process of discovery, I was having a chat with a Greek tutor, and so she starts explaining to me the you know, the relationships between different words in Greek, or how some of them are, you know, we can understand them from words that we're familiar with in English and so forth. So having her point that out to me is a little bit, takes away the pleasure of discovery. I have discovered some of those things. I'll discover some more. It's a bit like if I'm playing golf and I'm trying to line up my putt, and the person I'm playing with tells me, yeah, I would aim, you know, 3 club lengths to the left or something. That takes the fun out of it in a way. So I think, you know, if you ask for this kind of help, that's fine. But otherwise, I think it's that pleasure of discovering things on your own, you know, discovering connections between words, discovering aspects of the culture. And all of this, of course, it's driven by your curiosity. Still a little wet from my workout in my shower here. So curiosity drives you, and then you need the tools. And the tools can be anything. It can be to get you started Duolingo. It can be, you know, teach yourself books. A number of people commented after I did my review of Benny's book, which I gave a very positive review of, and people thanked me, and they've enjoyed Benny's book. But some people say they enjoyed Duolingo as a way of getting into the language. So whatever you do, whether you go to school, you use Duolingo, you use Benny's starter books, which I think are available for 5 languages. Nevertheless, I think as a companion to that, Link is, I don't want people criticize me for tooting my own horn if you want, but I think it's just such a tremendous way of staying the course as you proceed on your road to discovery of the language and the culture, which eventually takes you to fluency. So that's what I wanted to get off my chest today. Curiosity and Link, all right? And check the description box for the information about this online seminar about language learning. And so I'll close off with saying, you know, again, on the same subject. So I'm going to get on the plane in another 4 or 5 hours. It's always difficult to move, to break your routine. And I'm going with my wife, so it was less of a, in a way, disruption than if I were just going off on my own for 2 weeks. And yet, so it is a disruption, but I'm driven by my curiosity. I want to see these countries. And once you get going, it's so stimulating to travel, to see new countries and different people and the way different people live. And language learning is the same. Sometimes you got to kick yourself, get going, hopefully driven by some curiosity, and then the more you get engaged with it, the more stimulating it is, the more it opens up new vistas, and that's what's going to happen to me in another few hours as I go off to see, well, first of all London, but then Israel and Crete and Athens. So, thank you for listening, and see you next time.